And we are live. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness, New York by Night, the Vampire Venue. The Camarilla has recently experienced a windfall of sorts. They have managed to thwart a potential mass embrace, or at least adding those mass embraces to their ranks. And as such, they now have a handful of prisoners, which now need to be interrogated. Sheriff Cody, having given each individual that would like to participate the location of a what is considered an off-site interrogation complex, are given a address that takes them to a place just outside of Brooklyn. And it's just kind of a empty lot with a single shipping container sitting off next to, it looks to be like the remains of a dilapidated house. And we start the scene with the various members of the interrogation team arriving.
Rex is. I'll rock, paper, scissors for it.
No, you go for it, buddy.
Okay. So Rex is pretty on time. He's hyped to do some damage, as he does.
Well, Sabrina will arrive with a luxury black car, and will wave at the guys. She's dressed in couture and wears high heels.
Alfred steps out of a discreet bolt gun grey town car. He's dressed quite discreetly, but to the appraising eye, very finely. He wears a very dark grey suit, three-piece, very English cut. His tie, which is a high-collared, tab-collared shirt with a very, very tight knot, with a perfect tie dimple. Then he carries a black kind of vintage briefcase. He sort of adjusts his glasses and sort of walks over to meet the others.
And would you please be kind enough to help me? I got stuff in the trunk.
Well, of course. Alfred, by the way, Alfred Ansel.
She will open the trunk, and inside there's a chainsaw, pliers, gasoline. There's a big bucket made of metal. And also there is a blowtorch.
Vinny, I would like to roll my streetwise to see if this is the sort of location I can safely carry this stuff into the house.
Well then, if you would please roll me your intelligence streetwise, sir. Vampire dice roller.
They still have the price tag from Walmart.
It's oh, did I roll the right amount of dice?
Intelligence streetwise?
No, I rolled. Yeah, no, I rolled too few. That's more like it. 3 successes.
All right. Yeah, this area seems to be placed far enough away from where prying eyes would be. This is mostly an area where people just pass through. If you look around at the various other lots that are out here, it's all pretty much old residential and and commercial. And from what you can gather with 3 successes, is that this is a place that was hit pretty hard by Hurricane Sandy, and a lot of people moved away and just left everything as it is, and no one's bothered to pick up the deeds on the lands just yet, except for the lot that you guys are currently on.
He glances around and for good measure activates heightened senses. gives one glance up the street one way, glance up the street the other way, before nodding and sort of smiling acutely. He picks up the chainsaw and the can of gasoline, and he looks at both of them, then he looks at this woman he doesn't know. As it's sort of say, I don't know you, but I feel like you might be dangerous. And,
Oh, thank you, darling. I'm Sabrina Vanderbilt. And you are?
Alfred Ansel. A pleasure, Miss Vanderbilt.
Pleasure is mine. I think we have business to attend to.
Certainly. Doesn't do to linger. Mr. Rex, shall we?
Yeah.
Alfred looks between the two of them and realizes he might be out of his depth. And he...
Is Rex gonna take the rest, the bucket, and the blowtorch and the pliers?
Sure, yeah, he'll put the blowtorch and the pliers in the bucket and carry the bucket.
Thank you, Rex. How has it been? Last time I saw you, somebody was in your head.
Yeah, not such the case anymore. Went to check out that battle dome. Kicked a bitch ass. Thought he could talk shit about me, my turf.
I'm glad. My money is on you, for sure.
And he flicks his chin up some, with a bit of a grin.
When is the next night? I might attend. My uncle is curious to know how his spiders are doing.
I don't know. They ain't told me yet.
Well, should you need a place to rest or celebrate, the hotel is open.
And he nods. Appreciate it. Think I'm gonna do some celebrating tonight. Kind of turns the bucket a little bit.
So as you all approach and chat, the door opens. And one might expect Sheriff Cody. However, when the doors to the shipping container open, you see someone very different. Gentlemen, lady, my name is Sylvia Green, and I am here to assist you in the interrogation of our captives. And she'll step to one side so they may enter into the shipping container.
Alfred nods and, eager to be in from the street, steps inside. Good evening, Alfred Ansel, he says discreetly as he sort of passes by her.
She'll give him a courteous nod.
Rex, as he goes by, just gives her a nod. Rex.
She'll give him a curt nod.
And I'm Sabrina Vanderbilt.
Miss Vanderbilt, she'll give Sabrina a courteous nod. And she walks over once everyone's inside, and she shuts the door, and she secures the lock on it. And she walks to the far end of the shipping container and sort of pushes back what looks to be like an aluminum shutter that rolls in and out with a fair amount of ease, like it's on a track, and it exposes a set of metal stairs. And she begins to walk down. Follow me.
Alfred follows.
Rex follows.
With pleasure.
So, the three of you are going to be interrogating our captives. I am meant to observe and offer advice where I can. Each one of you will be given a member of our captives to play with, so to speak, until we get to the main course tonight, which is one that we can assume is not a casualty of the mass embrace. And if anybody who was there at the event would know, it's the Zemisi.
Yes, I know he's the one of interest. All the other ones have been created in less than a week.
And she'll nod at that. And when they get down to the bottom of the steps, there's actually a fair bit of room. It looks like basically a very nondescript cinder block hallway with doors, about 8 doors in total on either side of the hallway, and one at the very far end of the room. The doors look like they are made of heavy iron or steel, and look like they are pretty well bolted shut. And you can notice that there are what look to be card readers at the frame of each door.
Well, isn't this high tech?
Well, as this belongs to the sheriff, and this is where we would keep our most dangerous undesirables, this is as good a place as any to start. Of course, it's well invested, being under the ownership of someone of Clan Medtrue.
Natural.
And over 5 of the doors, there is simply a sign that says, it indicates that there's someone inside the actual chamber itself. They're listed as prisoner 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 5 obviously being, from the looks of it, the icing on the cake.
Can you tell us a little bit about each of them?
Wait a second. There's 5 of them. That's 6. Who's missing?
The interesting mystery to figure out.
Do they still have their numbers marked on their forehead like we did when we analyzed them?
At current, can't see them. They're behind doors.
Okay.
It would appear that I've missed something. Can somebody fill me in on how these came to be in our possession and who they might be? I wasn't there for the incident.
Shovelhead party in a cemetery earlier this week, and that's the catch of the day.
Now, did the Samisi try to flee or put up a fight, or did they allow themselves to be captured?
He was hiding in the bush.
Hiding in a bush. Interesting.
And by the way, don't look at him in the eye because he's able to penetrate your mind.
Huh. I suppose we'll see. He sort of finds the nearest surface and places his briefcase, his sort of attaché case down on it.
Various rooms you'll see here, and she'll gesture around. Subject number 1 is a Bruja. Subject number 2, a Caitiff. Subject number 3, a Ventru. Subject 4 is a La Sombra. As I am eagerly interested in each one of your skills in this field, I would like each one of you to choose one to interrogate.
Well,
I'm going to take the Ventru.
Rex will. Oh, I was about to say Rex is going to look at Alfred. But if Alfred hails Rex first, he goes,
I'll play the hard game. I'll take the brouhaha.
Well, should you need more information, I'm here. I've analyzed their bodies earlier this week.
I'll take the Sombra.
Her brow kind of arches up, somewhat intrigued.
He says it simply. Alfred, certainly for Rex, who knows it, and probably less so for Sabrina. Alfred seems kind of. Rex might call it something like game face. He's quite stoic this evening, but there's sort of an anticipation about him. He's quite focused, more so than the kind of squishy Toreador he first appeared to be, I suppose.
Well, what I can tell you, it's behind Bruja door is the most potent blood among the people, except for the Zimitzi. The Ventru only feeds from drunk people, and the Lesombra is the youngest one of the vampires. Not very potent.
Well, that's good then.
And the Kaitef is very, very low. He might die just waking up.
In case there was any doubt.
Caitiff will be Caitiff.
Until they're not.
Oh,
Yo.
and I forgot. The Zimitzi is a triple times jabblerist.
Rex looks over to the woman that first greeted them and says,
Anyone gonna get pissed off if we kill him?
She actually takes a minute to consider what he said. If they leave you no choice, simply do what you have to do. However, from initial estimates, these individuals may have only just recently been embraced. Your former associate, Craig, who's been very helpful to this sect, I would say came out of a situation very similar to this. I'll leave you to to use your best judgment.
Then hear a yes or a no.
If it's needed, you are authorized to do whatever it is that you need to do.
I'm gonna take you at that word.
Everything that's going on here is under my jurisdiction. I answer to the sheriff.
he nods and says,
Yeah, me too.
Well, gentlemen and ladies, shall we proceed?
And she will go along and she will open the door for each one of you to each of your respective, Jesus Christ, Vinny, to the subjects that they wish to take on.
oh, real quick, just before, Rex would offer the bucket back to Sabrina, saying like,
Here, this ain't my shit.
Oh, I need gasoline for that. It's to burn the foot.
Well, I mean, I'm giving it back. I ain't need it. I'm saying it's
thank you.
yours. Yeah.
Well, I brought stuff for you guys as well. But I'll need the pliers. I always love to define people.
Good choice.
Alfred stares at her strangely.
But should mine not collaborate, I will need a chainsaw. A torso man cannot feed by himself.
So, shall we begin the evening?
One last bit of information, more of a warning. These doors do not open from the inside. They will only open, and she'll hold up a key card, with my key. I'll be observing you through a security room. If, for whatever reason, you need to exit, simply say the word Crescent Moon.
That's 2 words.
Out of character, Vinny's sitting pretty on his medication right now for his back. So,
You're good.
Well, that's going to be our safe word, medication.
all right, then yeah, medication. We'll say that medication was the 1 word.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Trust me, honey, I really need a safe word.
Oh, I'm sure you do. He smiles knowingly. In fact, actually, do you know what? I'm going to roll perception empathy on you. And I have good sense of character, which drops my difficulty by something absolutely mental because it's the first time I've met you.
Those merits are pretty goodness.
It's only 2 successes. Can you tell me a little? I only got 2 successes, but can you tell me a little bit about like just the general nature of the character, like what's she like as a person?
Upper East Side princess, socialite, royalty,
Deviant?
shallow person.
No, really. Yeah, when she says, "Oh, die, I need a safe word," he says, "Oh, I'm sure you do," and sort of smiles knowingly and kind of glances her up and down appraisingly.
I would probably add also overprivileged. And she smells money.
He's sort of he's not a suspicious person. He comes off. He seems quite kind. He seems quite, if not kind, quite warm in a very old world sort of way. So when he looks her up and down, it's not a judgment. It's sort of he just sort of appraises her.
He pauses at the titties.
Yes.
Yeah, landmines.
Fucking Alfred.
So I'm ready when you are, guys.
She's got a custom overlay, Jesus. Alfred nods once to each of his fellow kindred, and steps into the room.
I'm getting in a room and I'm just bringing the pliers for this time.
Alfred's got a briefcase.
Rex brings the clothes on his back.
All right. Well, as each of you walk in, the door is shut behind you, and you hear sort of that loud buzzing before a heavy lock seems to fit into place. And each one of you will notice that there is a camera in each of the rooms. That seems to be one of those globe cameras, so it has a full range of vision. But the rooms are pretty standard. There's a table, there's a chair in the center, which seems to be bolted to the floor where your subject is. There's a light fixed over each one of them. And, workspace for anything that is needed. But for those that went a bit simple, which is actually where we'll start, with Mr. Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Rex.
Tell me what my subject looks like.
I can do even better than that. I can show you.
Oh, sweet. Oh, man.
Doesn't look particularly threatening, especially with a stake through his heart at the moment. But he looks to be probably early 30s, early to mid 30s.
Mhm.
Dressed in, well, what he was wearing, so it's attire that's fairly messed up. It's dirty, and clearly it's got some bloody stains on it from where they were taken out, as far as with the stakes and what they've been through thus far. But the guy looks like just kind of like your average Joe.
And is he conscious currently?
He has a stake through his heart, so he is conscious. He just, is completely incapacitated.
Okay.
Meaning, if you take the stake out, he can respond, but with the stake in there, he can't function. He knows that you're there, but he can't do anything about it.
So yeah, Rex just walks in, doesn't move until the door is closed behind him. Um, he doesn't actually even look at the guy at first. He sidesteps any materials in the room, and stands behind him. Is he wearing a hat?
Yes.
Rex will take it off and throw it on the floor in front of him, very casually. And he'll just give him a look over real quick, just from the back. Then he'll walk around to the front and kind of squint at him. Just look around at his features silently. After a few moments of unsettling silence, he'll look down at the stake and he will pull it out slowly.
Well, once it is all the way out, there's a fairly immediate response of, "Oh God! Oh wow! All of that really sucks." Whew. Whew.
Walks over to the supply table and just kind of sets the stake down.
Hey, man.
Evening.
And he, as he's trying to talk, he sort of winces a bit, as though he's focusing. Where am I?
Rex doesn't answer. He goes back from the table silently back to a Bruja friend, and just kind of casually looks down at him. He's in a seated position, yes.
Yeah, he is bolt or strapped to the table or to the chair.
Mm.
Got a couple questions for you.
Uh, once you ask him, you're gonna let me go, right?
Depends on how you answer.
Come on, man. Like, shit's been weird enough for me already. Just, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Oh, I know. First question. What's your name, Twinkle Toes?
Bert. Bert Reynolds.
I want to start off by I know you can't really detect a lie. That's more of a supernatural thing. But is there a way that I could try to detect some sort of insight? See if there's a tell.
Oh yeah. Wits. You can roll wit subterfuge if you want. I'll
Sure.
still allow it for whether or not he is or isn't lying.
Okay.
Standard.
Well, shit.
You can try if you want to do it at a 1+ difficulty.
Fuck it. Why not? Two successes.
Very nice. He's telling you the truth. I got the same name as the actor. I don't think my parents thought that one through all that much.
Nope. Second question. You remember what happened before you crawled out of that dirt?
I was talking to this really nice looking dude, and we were hitting it off. He didn't seem to mind my stutter. I don't normally get that.
Gonna wit sub that.
Yeah, go for it.
4 successes.
He seems to be telling you the truth, and he seems to be somewhat crestfallen that didn't work out.
So this dude you was getting on with, he tell you his name. You remember what he looked like?
His name was Keith. Blonde, like spiky hair. His eyes were really blue.
Keith. This Keith here sound kind of like Sugar Ray. You telling me the truth, Bert?
Who would lie about something like that?
Gonna wit sub that as well. I'm gonna spam you with this tonight, Vinny. 1 success.
Telling you the truth.
All right. So this Keith. Tell me what happened next.
Well, we left the bar and we just walking and talking. I was heading back to my train to catch a ride home, hoping maybe I could get a number. And we cut across a vacant lot, and next thing I know, it's just I woke up on the ground.
Underground. Remember anything about this? Anything in between vacant lot and underground?
I don't know how much of it actually happened, and then the rest of it, I don't know if it was like it's all hazy. Like I hear sometimes, how people like bad shit happens, they don't necessarily like they don't remember things all that clearly.
Getting real bored of this shit, Bert.
What?
This not remember shit clearly. This lack of details.
I mean, come on, man. Like, I, come on, man. I ain't got no reason to lie to you.
That ain't exactly true now, is it?
I don't understand how you mean.
Come on, Bert. Don't make me hurt you.
Yeah, we've missed some steps here, man. We skipped a few. Like I don't even understand what's going on. Like, you know, I crawl out of the ground and then people put wood through my heart, and that doesn't kill me.
You gonna pull the shock card this early on me, Bert?
I ain't lying to you, man. Come on.
And I will wits up that. Shit. Try again at higher diff?
Yeah, go for it.
3 successes.
He's telling you the truth. Dude's terrified.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me get this straight. You's chatting up a dude he's trying to fuck.
I mean, I wouldn't have said no, but I mean that wasn't the like exact intent behind it.
Hey, I ain't here to judge.
Well, I don't roll like the just random hookup thing.
I'm just getting the story straight, Bert.
Okay.
Here we go. So you's talking to Keith. Went back to catch train home. Tried to get his number. Woke up in the ground.
Yeah. There was some vague stuff like moving along the ground. I remember feeling that, like, you know, he's being dragged. That sort of thing. But some other shit don't make a whole lot of sense. Like some guy with horns and shit. I'm pretty sure I dreamt that.
And Rex's expression just kind of looks disappointed.
Now, Keith, you told me you was in shock. You didn't remember.
Well, I told you that, like, I wasn't sure about all the details because a dude had horns. I'm pretty sure I was like a fever dream, but like can you have a concussion dream? I'm not sure.
Bert, that's a first strike.
Whoa,
I'm gonna have to jog your memory.
Oh, come on, man.
Now, I want you to remember all your fever dreams.
That would make
to
a
do
whole lot
that-
it just don't make a whole lot of sense, man. Like,
If I'm gonna make sure all this ain't clouded up in your head,
And he stands up and walks around behind him. And just abruptly he'll grab a tuft of his hair,
oh, come on, man.
pull his head to the back, and look down at him.
I'm gonna have to make some space for the truth.
What?
And if you will allow it, I would like to activate protean and use my claw to draw a line in the side of his head, starting at his temple, going back to his ear.
All right, go for it.
Alrighty. Do you need me to roll or?
I'm gonna have you roll your Dex melee difficulty 5.
Melee?
Or sorry, brawl.
Okay. To be clear, he's like not trying to go too deep. He's just trying to.
I know. That's why I'm having you roll. So that way,
Okay.
if you fail, you go too deep.
Dex brawl diff 5.
Yeah. If you botch, like you put a nice little hole in the side of his head.
5 successes.
As however intricate, deep, or shallow as you want it to be.
Yeah, no. It's a deep enough to make it, start to bleed a little more like a cat scratch, enough to really hurt and feel it and remember it.
What is your humanity rating right now?
Currently 5.
Okay. Let me have you make that conscience roll.
Excellent. Alrighty, where is my conscience?
Somebody wants to lose humanity.
You're right. Difficulty 6.
I'm gonna say 7 just because the guy hasn't lied to you and he seems scared off his. Wow.
Botch.
You're going easy on this guy. You're going really fucking easy on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. We're gonna have to figure out a little something, a derangement for you, because you botched a roll. Conscience, you really don't care. Like this casual inflicting of damage, this should have been like the bare minimum he should have expected. He's just overreacting when he starts to like scream and cry.
How's your memory working now, Bert?
Come on, man. Like, shit.
Come on, man. Doesn't sound like a fever dream. I can go deeper. Come on, Mumbles.
I was pretty sure I died, okay?
Start from the beginning, Bert. Tell me your fever dreams of when you died.
Keith, takes a step behind me, like he's gonna check his phone, And so, I stop and I figured, it's time for me to check my phone too, just stop to make it awkward. And then all of a sudden, I turn slightly because I see something out the corner of my eye, and boom, he cold cocks me, and he hit me harder than I thought it. Dude, his side, because he built, but he didn't look like Brock Lesnar, motherfucker. And he hit me, and I went out, and it was just going in and out because I think he hit me pretty hard. I heard a crunch, And when I was able to get some semblance of where I was, there was a dude with the horns, and there were other guys and gals laying on the ground. Some of them in pretty rough shape, some of them not so bad. And come on, man.
Names, Bert.
I
hear any funny words?
Something about a sword, man. And then Keith turns around and he has a knife in his hand, and so he looks at me, and then I think he put it in my neck, but how could I be here if that were the case?
So something about a sword.
Yeah. and Glory to the Kane or something like that.
Say that again.
Glory to Kane?
You like saying that, Bert? Does that taste good in your mouth?
No. I'm more of a Taker fan, man.
Good. Because what you just said ain't gonna come out your mouth again.
No, sir. I want to get out of this. I want to get home. See my mom and pa again.
So they mention the sword and cane. They ain't said nothing about plans or times or where anybody gonna be. Ain't no other names other than Keith.
There was some lady there. I couldn't see her, but I could hear her voice. But she talking about. She seemed like she was like annoyed, because it was taking too long. I don't know if that's exactly what you're looking for, but that's the only thing I got for you that's like even comes close to time sensitive or plans.
So you didn't see this lady. You only heard her talking about how annoyed she was.
Yeah. She got like that old world Spanish accent, and I'm not talking about like continental United States Spanish. I'm talking about like that real refined stuff from like Spain.
And all she said was that she was annoyed.
She says I know this was taking too long.
And Rex will grab the tuft of hair again and pull it back and look him right in the eyes, baring teeth and all. And he'll just say,
"You wouldn't be keeping anything in that head of yours from me, would you, Bert?"
The sound he makes is a bit like a rabbit caught in a trap, with a Bert spin on it, obviously.
Man!
Yeah, something like that.
That's not an answer.
No, man. Like, everything beyond that, like, was after, and it was all hazy, and it just sounded like muffled voices. I couldn't even make out syllables. The only thing I kind of caught from that was just, like, he's saying he was sorry.
And he takes a deep breath. He has to think about it, considering he doesn't have like blush of health or anything. But he really has to focus on it. He takes a deep breath with the most twisted, aggravated look on his face, and he lets Bert's hair go as he exhales.
I'm gonna be right back, Bert.
I guess I'll stay here. I ain't got much of a choice.
You're right. I'll be right back with your medicine.
Out of character medication.
With your medication.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you kind of cut open my head. Maybe an antibiotic might be a good idea.
Shut up, Bert.
He doesn't say shit after that.
And Rex will head for the door, hoping to see their hostess.
Door opens for you.
Mm-hmm.
Door shuts. And Sylvia is standing there. smoking.
Is that good, or you looking for something specific?
What's your take on it? Do you think you got everything there is to know out of that guy?
A man got blindsided. He heard an old Spanish lady's voice. I mean, you's watching.
I asked for your opinion. What should be done with him? Does he require more interrogation? Should he be put down? Should he be recruited?
Oh boy ain't got the stomach. If he does, somebody gonna have to pull it out of him. 'Cause what I'm seeing now ain't a whole lot of gut. So if you got a brouhaha up on the surface that you think can turn that sniveling little piss pot into something worth our time, I'd say you can hand him over. But if you ain't think so, it'll only take me a second.
I'll confer with Cody and see what his final decision is, but for now, we'll stay any execution for him and put him on ice.
And he nods.
And we will cut to the La Sombra and Mr. Sane.
Excellent.
Same room, description as what Rex had. There's a woman basically bolted down to a chair. She's got a stake in her heart. Her eyes are, however, completely shut. They're not fixed open.
He steps into the room and he puts his briefcase down on like a low table. It's the surface that you can put it down on. He leaves it closed for now. He sort of looks at this girl. Sort of walks around her a little bit. He sort of like kind of takes her in stock, and he kind of takes the room in stock. It's been a while since he's been in a situation quite like this one. So he glances over her. Is there a chair? Anyway, is there a chair that I can pull over in front of her?
There's a stool, not a chair.
There's a stool, perfect. He pulls the stool over and kind of sits on it. Pulls out a packet of cigarettes, but rests them sort of on his knee. And he pulls out a very expensive DuPont lighter, sort of rolls it in his hand. Well, these mass embraces do catch all kinds, I suppose. It's always an interesting thing meeting someone when they can't speak back to you or interact with you. I suppose it gives them the jump. Because while I'm talking, I suppose you can make certain assumptions about me. I just don't know anything about you. You could be anything. Anyone. Funny thing. Leans towards her and sort of pulls the stake out with his dominant hand. Leans back in the chair away from her.
There is a shudder, but her response is otherwise fairly subdued. She opens her eyes and blinks a few times before looking left, right, looking down at her bindings. And then she looks up at Alfred, and she just has this very stoic expression on her face.
Alfred's expression, his entire countenance, is one of a kind of, how to describe it? There's a stoicism about him, but his lips are curled quite pleasantly. It's almost a smile. So. Pleased to meet you. My name's Alfred. What's yours?
Ava.
Pardon me. Speak up, dear. Is that Ada?
Ava, as in Evangeline.
Eva, Evangelina. Very nice. Very pretty name.
And yours?
Ah, sorry. I did just say, but of course you've just woken up. Alfred.
Alfred. Why am I here?
Well, we're going to work that out together. Eva. I'd like to roll my perception empathy with a good sense of character.
Go for it. And it's what, 4 successes?
4. Oh yeah, no, that's 1, 2, 3. I think it only takes 2 off my roll.
Okay, so then 3 successes.
Yeah, 3 successes.
You with 3 successes, there's just, with your merit in mind, she's extremely calm, probably calmer than anybody should be in a situation like this. But you gather that perhaps that look in her eye signifies that either A, she just has an indomitable will, or B, this is not her first rodeo.
So they think you're just some recently turned shovelhead. But you're not, are you?
I'm not sure how you mean.
I'd like to roll perception subterfuge with my heightened senses in mind to pick up and tell. Oh, would you look at that? That's 4 successes.
There's a slight hint of confusion, but she does seem like she is slightly in the know.
Come on. Don't play games with me either. We're not in a position to play games this evening, my dear.
No, of course not. However, anything I tell you is one less bargaining chip I have on the table.
I'm afraid, Eva, unless the cavalry arrives, and I assure you there's very, very, very little chance of the cavalry arriving. Your bargaining chips will all be given up eventually. I assume you know at least a little bit about Camarilla.
I know enough.
You know
I
enough.
know enough
And
that
you know
they
enough.
are
Hmm.
the enemy of the woman who made me.
Sorry, I'm struggling. Bear with me. I just need to turn my volume up a little bit. Can you repeat that, Vinny?
She said that she knows you're the enemy of the woman who made her.
Interesting. And I
I know
suppose
she is.
Hmm?
I know she's not human.
you know she's not human.
That's not how she was introduced to me, but I know.
And you then have some idea of what she is, what you are.
Yes.
Say it.
I have been made into a vampire.
For all intents and purposes. He
There are a million other things that I could say that would be euphemisms, but why dance around that? That is the fact. That is what I am now.
there are more cultured names for it, but for all intents and purposes, yes. Now, this suggests you have a degree of familiarity with the woman who made you. Yes.
Yes. She was a mentor of sorts. The university that I went to.
And where did you study?
Columbia University.
I'd like to roll to see if that's a lie.
Go for it.
Four successes.
If there is a lie, it's probably a casual omission, meaning it wasn't intentional. But she seems to be, from what you can tell, is that there might be other places that she studied at, but the only pertinent information she has for you is Columbia.
He stands up and he moves over to the table. And he takes his suit jacket off to reveal a very crisp white double cuff shirt. And he unbuttons the mother of pearl 18-karat gold cufflinks he's wearing and pops them down. He rolls his sleeves up and he rolls his thumbs over the locks of the briefcase and it pops open. Sorry, the attache case, and it pops open. He for now he simply appraises a few of the items in there, probably out of sight. She probably won't be able to see what he's doing, but he's essentially he's looking through a small box of scalpels, and next to that a Cuban cigar, but a big. I forgot what they're called now. A chubos, but like a big Cuban cigar. So out, walks back over, trying to give the impression of somebody who perhaps now does not appreciate omitted information. So, like the academic then, studied in a few places. Tell me, what did you study?
I had it lined up to have a degree in criminal psychology.
Criminal
I
psychology.
did back and forth between Columbia and Bellevue, mainly their mental health ward.
And Columbia, this is where you met your mentor. Who was she? And what's her name?
Her name is Selma Rubio. Or at least that's what she had me call her. I don't know if that was her actual name or not.
Selma Rubio. He picks up the cigar. He takes out like a thin line, a cigar cutter from his pocket, clips the end. He strikes he strikes the butane DuPont and puffs idly away at it until there's a glowing red hot cherry at the end. That's the name she told you. You had reason to believe that she had another name.
When a person who spent months being a confidant, being a mentor, turns out to be a creature that you thought didn't exist prior, everything is circumspect, Alfred.
How long ago did she turn you?
What is today's date?
So you were part of the mass embrace then? You weren't some pet project from before that got lumped in here? Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Oh Christ, I don't know what day it is.
Today's the 13th.
It's the 14th here in England, motherfucker.
The scenes in New York were going by Eastern Standard.
Eastern Standard.
Yeah.
All right, don't throw tea in the ocean over it. Sorry, buddy, I'm kidding. It's the 13th today.
6 days. Perhaps 5, depending on when I actually expired.
And Vinny, matching up to when the mass embrace was discovered, the Shovelhead Park, where they were climbing their way out of the ground. When did that take place?
Out of character, I can't remember the exact date. I know it was recent.
Was it shorter than 6 days?
I'm going to say, for the sake of the fact that she is telling the truth, that it's within that window.
So the conclusion I would then draw is that she was embraced before the rest of them, or is this woman a shovelhead, or is she just a fledgling who's been captured from their master?
She was definitely embraced on the night in question, as far as the mass embrace was concerned. However, well, you don't have any Lasombra lore, do you?
No.
Yeah. Then...
That's okay.
Yeah.
Listen. Maybe I've been too friendly with you, but that's because I prefer no unpleasantness between us. Your omissions are becoming broader, I've noticed. And you admitted yourself, you can't give too much away at a time. You're bargaining. Now, I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen to you, especially counts of your blood. However,
she just lets out a long, drawn-out sigh when he says, "I can't tell you what's going to happen to you," and then she just looks Alfred directly in the eye. If you're going to do any physical harm to me, I suggest you dig in. And she'll kind of gesture to, like, her coat.
not as in like her coat pockets. What are we talking about here?
She just kind of looks like down at where like her the material line is sort of covering up her skin.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Tuck in. Now, I don't know if you know how this works, but
You're going to try and extract information out of me using various forms of pain, psychological, even emotional abuse, to try and get to coerce me to give you answers. You'll do so, and you'll act as though you relish it.
you're a criminal psychologist. I suppose. I suppose you'll be able to tell me if it's an axe. And he looks her dead in the eye.
Help me out of this jacket.
Sorry, pardon, Billy.
She said, help me out of this jacket.
She's tied down, isn't she?
She is.
He pulls out, he walks over to the table and he turns around and he kind of gives her almost like a fatherly, long, drawn out.
If you need to cut it off with a pair of shears, I'm not attached to the jacket.
My dear, I think we're a little bit beyond negotiating your sentimental attachment to your clothes. And he pulls out a scalpel. It's a long, sort of, certainly for a scalpel, a very long, very curved blade. And he sort of walks over to her and he like sort of takes it neatly in one hand and he says, "It's a shame. You can tell it's vintage. Good quality leather." And he slices up, sort of just behind her hip, up along her back, up her ribs, on across the arm of the jacket, and then up to the collar. So essentially, he sort of divides it into halves.
Considering he's a tailor, I'm assuming that he knows how to disassemble a garment.
Do you want me to roll for it?
Yeah, go for it. Maybe you can salvage the jacket.
Maybe I can salvage the jacket.
As you said, it's a nice jacket.
It's a nice jacket. It's vintage. Christ, what dice am I rolling for this?
Let me give Dex, and do you have a secondary skill?
I've got crafts, tailoring.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me that. Dex crafts. Yeah.
You disassemble the jacket.
you basically take the jacket apart piece by piece, and at your leisure you'll be able to put that back together, and you'd never be able to tell that it was taken apart. Like, you even get like the lining pulled apart from the jacket itself without damaging it. And once you have those pieces taken apart, she's just wearing a very sort of simple sleeveless blouse. It looks like to be made of silk. But you notice that along her shoulders, back, and arms, that there are just a massive amount of scars. Cuts, burns, jagged marks.
My dear. Looks like you've seen almost as many scars as me. Shall we then? He takes the cigar from between his teeth and he presses it firmly, but so as not to dislodge the cherry, firmly above it. It's an open neck blouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Firmly above her heart. Big, like Birdie, and I don't know if you smoke cigars, Vinny, especially the size I'm talking about, like a big fucking coal.
Believe me, I've suffered through a stogie before. I know what you're doing.
Nice. Oh, yeah, I love it when you guys call it that. But he just holds it against her flesh.
She just stares directly into your eyes, Alfred.
I dread gazer.
All right. Pulls up the mechanics for that.
Christ, I forgot what that is now.
See, I'm not the only one. Presence. My old friend.
Charisma, intimidation.
Yep. Just seeing if there is any roll for resistance.
Oh, it's static. It's against their charisma, their wits plus.
Courage?
No, it's not courage. Let me find it. It's...
Difficulty is equal to the victim's wits plus courage.
Oh, sorry, mate. I must be looking at an old document.
Yeah,
yeah, fair enough. And I haven't got many dice in Dread Gaze.
For her, it will be difficulty 8.
Hell. Spend a willpower point for success.
Can't spend willpower points on activation of a discipline. Let me just double check something real quick.
That's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't pass the roll anyway.
Yeah. From what you can gather by just looking at her, she is unaffected. It's probably somewhat unsettling how unaffected she is.
Now, you said I would pretend to take relish in this act. I can't relish the act if you don't give me anything to play with.
Then I apologize that I'm not able to oblige.
That's okay. That's okay. Listen. Torture isn't going to work. But frankly, all the better for me. But you need to understand, even someone like you, that your life is in the balance here. This isn't a game. And whilst I picture you as something the nihilist, perhaps familiar with the back catalogue of Nietzsche, I don't think you want to die. Because pain and suffering, frequent bouts of happiness, may be unpleasant, they may be pleasant, but death is just nothing, isn't it? It's worse than everything else because, well, it just is. Do you understand if you don't cooperate with me, you will die?
I'm fully aware.
Now, answer me honestly, do you owe your mentor any loyalty?
There's an emotional attachment that I can feel. It wasn't necessarily as strong as it was before. That is something I can't explain.
I think I could probably explain it for you.
I am a continuing student from now until whenever this ends. If you would oblige me.
What did she? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Vinny.
Basically, what she said is she's ever the student, and if he would be good enough, she would most certainly like to know.
If he'd be good enough at what?
Good enough to enlighten her.
Ah. Pardon me for being enigmatic, but the blood holds power. That's your emotional connection. I don't know how strong it is. Now, you tell me her name is... What was it again?
Selma Rubio.
Selma Rubio. She works in the criminology department of Columbia University.
No.
No?
She seemed more like an important booster, if you understand what that is.
Booster. I'm not familiar with the term.
A booster is someone who donates money to a school.
Ah. Now, that must mean that she goes through the financial department a fair bit. Did she send you on any errands for her in your time together?
No.
It's a roll to see if she's lying. I will cut this short in a sec, guys. Oh, fucking hell. That's 6 successes.
She's telling you the honest truth.
For expediency, can we say that roll's good enough that I can avoid rolling for telling the truth or lying? I just don't want to make this.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's getting pretty late for you.
Now, did you pick up anything on your way to this party of sorts? Discuss any details?
She lets out a breath. She told me that I had passed whatever test she had put me through. I suppose that all the time we spent together was a means of evaluation.
And she was going to initiate you into the fold.
She offered me to be at her side from the moment that whatever change was to happen happened. And I said, is that how everyone does it? And she said no. I opted. Be treated no differently than anyone else. Why deny myself the experience?
It's getting late, Eva. But you and I have more in common than you know. Far, far more in common than you know. You may be pleased, you may not be pleased to know. It doesn't really matter to me. I'll be advising to keep you on board.
Quite a risk if I go rogue. Will it look poorly on you?
Oh, Eva. I'm not worried about you going rogue. And with that, he slices his wrist, scalpel, and I pump a point of blood into strength. He says, now, are you going to drink willingly? Or is this going to be far more complicated than it needs to be?
She does give pause to think. And then she just sort of gestures with her eyes as though, bring it on.
Is she gonna what, as in like she's gonna make me like force her? Jesus Christ. I don't have any points in Brawl.
If you want to buff your strength all the way up to 6 and just roll your strength, you can.
No, I bump it up to 4. 2 points.
This you may spend a willpower point on if you like.
Oh, thank God I get one success. God, I hate playing a Toreador.
I will roll her straight strength to resist because brawl in that sense would just be kind of silly, I think.
Well, because she's strapped to the chair. Does she get any modifiers for being strapped down?
All she has to do, well, not really, because you're trying to wrench her mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if she can match your successes, then you haven't opened up her mouth.
That's fine.
How many successes did you have?
1.
Yeah. It seems like a dead heat. You're trying to open up her mouth, and her jaw seems to be held shut, though it doesn't feel like it's wired shut, as in she's not beating you out in strength. You're just at a impasse.
Okay. He wrenches his hand away, draws the scalpel up, and slices horizontally from her upper cheek down across her mouth and sort of to underneath her chin. And I need to roll for that. So
I would like you to roll your conscience, please.
That's fine.
I'm going to say, what humanity is Alfred at right now?
7.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make this a difficulty 8.
Success.
Well, look at you. Yeah, you managed to justify what you're doing. Perhaps in Alfred's mind, you think you're saving her. Who knows? But you found the justification. Or wait, no. You succeeded, right? So it's the other way around. You feel pretty awful about this.
Yeah. It's still not going to stop me rolling these dice, though.
Are you pumping another? Wow.
5, 6. That's 7 successes.
On what?
My Dex melee.
Oh, so you're gonna remove part of her cheek to get it in.
Yep.
Well then, with 7 successes, I'm not even gonna make you you get it in there. But her eyes never leave yours. She doesn't even flinch.
We'll see about that. I roll scalpel tongue.
Really want to make her up, or really want to tear her up, huh?
That's 3 successes on scalpel tongue.
Scalpel what?
Scalpel tongue. It's my combi discipline.
Oh shit! What does that do?
So scalpel tongue. She's either essentially. I'm about to say something, and she essentially feels physical pain from what I say, and it registers on quite a hurt emotional level. And with 3 successes, it's kind of it's unless she can spend a willpower point to reject the effect entirely, but it registers, or she's essentially stunned for 3 rounds because it's like, oh my god, that was so mean.
I'm going to say, for the sake of brevity, that she would spend willpower until she couldn't anymore. So if Alfred is willing to persist beyond that, then yeah, we'll get to that point. But just basically means that you would have, continually had to roll it until it took effect. So it literally is, once you can tell that she has just put every bit of willpower into defiance that she has, she finally finally her gaze breaks from yours, and she turns her head away, and she sort of, her lips kind of purse together, and there's just sort of a somber expression that takes over her face.
You think you can pull the tough girl card with me? How old are you? Raised 6 days ago. 20. You may have seen hard shit, but you haven't seen what I've seen, haven't done what I've done. I haven't been alive as long as some, but compared to you, I've been alive for a very long time. No, I'd prefer you're of something of substance to me. But like so many things in this world, you could just as easily be nothing. Everything that makes you special, your willpower, your mind, it all amounts to naught. Nothing.
She takes a few breaths. She's still freshly turned, so she doesn't quite know how to not have that response. And she looks up, and there's definitely hints of blood coming out of her eyes. And she'll look up at Alfred, panting. She can't defy you anymore in the way that she was before, but she just looks up at Alfred. Have I made you angry, Alfred? And if that will strike a chord with Alfred in a negative way, I would like you to roll self-control.
He's not angry. That's I don't know what you picked up on from my role play there, but he's not. It's not anger he's expressing. It's
without facial expressions. It's a bit hard to hear.
No, I realised. No,
it goes either way.
It was more relish. It's and it was more role playing the scalpel tongue. What he says to break her down.
Okay.
It's not anger. It's more. It's more diminishing than that. I guess you might say it's scorn, but not really.
Trying to break her down.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what she'll do is she'll look up, and she'll simply say, tearing me down to a base level. Is that your desire?
Well, you tell me. Do I relish this? Or is it just what needs to be done? Good evening, Eva. We'll be seeing each other again very soon. He looks at her and something almost like pity crosses his face. And he boxes up the few tools he used. The cigar, already discarded to the floor, crushes it with his heel.
Such a waste.
Huh?
That's a tragic waste out of character.
Oh, absolutely. He slings his jacket over his shoulder.
Does he take the pieces of her jacket with him?
Oh, yeah. He likes her. Give it back. And he walks out. And by the way, guys, I had no idea that took so long. I'm so sorry. He sort of walks back out to see Sylvia.
Sylvia's standing there, and she has an intrigued look on her face. Quite the production in there.
She's interesting. I found out a little
Yes.
bit. She knows more than she's letting on. We should keep her.
Is that your recommendation, or is that your desire?
And because I'm playing it to his nature, he smiles and he says, can't it be both?
She gives him a slight smile. You do realize that if she does indeed go rogue, there will be repercussions. Certainly, if nothing else, people will certainly think less of you.
Then we'll make sure she doesn't go rogue.
She'll look at the door and then look at Alfred. If she can be conditioned properly, she would be an asset.
She would be. I'll be coming back to see her if that's all right with you. He says as he moves to pick his things up. It looks like he won't be staying for the main event.
I'll see what arrangements I can make. But it will be a favor on my part to arrange it.
Name your price.
Trivial boon. If only out of the morbid curiosity I want at your interaction.
It's very gracious of you. Good evening, Miss Sylvia.
She'll nod. Till we meet again, Mr. Ansel.
Till we meet again, Sylvia. He glances at Rex, who he assumes came out at roughly the same time. He sort of nods. Good evening, Rex.
Rex nods back.
Hope you had fun.
He looks back at him and sort of tries to be nondescript, but there's something in his face as he sort of turns around and walks away. Guys, I had no idea that I'd go on for like 35, 40 minutes. I need to bail because it's really,
Mm-hmm.
But it's been great role playing with you. And Serena, I'm really sorry I won't get to see your interrogation. I was really looking forward to it.
Oh, it's all good. You'll probably hear about it.
I have absolutely no doubt I'll hear all about it. Right, catch you later, guys.
See you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey, no problem.
All right. As Mr. Ansel makes his way out of the detention center, we cut to the cell with the Ventru.
Great. Well, I will first approach the body. Is that a guy or a girl? Can I have a small description?
Fairly androgynous in nature. Certainly has effeminate features, but not so overtly as to say what the gender is without checking, I guess would be the best way to describe it. But from what you can tell by just looking at this person, same thing as all the others. Staked, eyes are open, aware, but unable to do anything.
Well, they say it's like a band-aid. And I'm just going to remove the steak very fast. You know, like when you rip a band-aid off.
And there's just the same. And there's just this look of shocked bewilderment on the face of this person in front of you.
Welcome back.
Where am I?
You're in a remote location for your security. Please let me introduce myself. My name is Sabrina Vanderbilt. And may I please know who you are?
Morgan.
So, how do you feel, Morgan?
Like I've had some of the worst dreams or experienced something I can't explain. I'm not exactly sure. A bit flustered at the fact that the a wooden spike was just pulled out of my chest.
Don't worry, it will heal up with time, but what is your latest memory?
I I don't I don't recall. I was drunk and
You're out, or
I, I was having a cocktail with friends, and there was
yeah, I know you love your alcohol.
she'll look up. Beg your pardon.
I know a lot about you, but I'm curious to know what occurred after you were drunk.
Images. Was I? Did I imagine it, or was I actually buried?
Yes, you were dead.
Dead. She'll look down at the wound and then look up. What's going on? I don't understand any of this.
You're undead, but you're not alive. You're now a creature of the night.
I'm sorry. I am going to need you to run that by me again. You said a creature of the night.
Yes, you live between life and death. Jeez, for Christ's sake, have you ever heard the word vampire? Though we prefer the word kindred.
There's a look of, imagine the look of somebody who actually was going through this. Of that, being told that you're a vampire, then there is some that there is some weight to what has just been stated. And she starts
No,
to shake her head. No, this isn't real. This isn't real.
unfortunately, I need to tell you it's real. But you seem a person quite intelligent. What do you do for a living?
What? Why am I tied down?
As I said, you're over here for your own security. We
Well, if
saved
I'm
you.
here for my own security, why am I tied down? I am perfectly capable of being safe inside of a room.
You could hurt yourself. You're not used to your new powers.
How? Hurt myself? Powers? You said powers? Powers?
Yes, think like Marvel superheroes.
I no. No, 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 no. Get me out of this chair, please.
In a few seconds? Probably. But I need to know more about you. As you can see, we are currently being watched. I'm here to help you.
Uh, uh, are you with what? The FBI?
We're a secret society that lives among humans.
Well, ignoring all the things that seem a bit fantastical, Why do I need to be tied down for my own safety?
As I mentioned you're not used to your new powers and you might hurt yourself. And we don't know you that much. You were an innocent bystander.
Yes.
So, do you remember who killed you?
I um I was walking home. I did not find the Uber driver that I was using agreeable, so I canceled the ride and asked that he let me out. And I was walking, and I knew I shouldn't have been walking in that part of town. I had my pepper spray ready, and then I think two men jumped me. I didn't get to see them. They just blindsided me.
I'm sorry to hear this. But
And she starts to
should you
struggle against
want?
the chair.
Just calm down, please.
No, please let me out of this chair. I don't care what else you need from me, but please let me out of this goddamn chair.
Well, I'm going to help you to stand up, but you're going to still be tied. Just think it as if you were at a police station and you're here for questioning.
Okay, fine.
So I'm going to
I
help
can't.
her out of the chair.
And once she's up, she she takes a breath and she lets it out. She seems to relax a little.
So tell me, Morgan, how old are you?
27.
Okay, so you remember Buffy, right?
That was not exactly what I would call entertainment. I know people who did watch such things, but I didn't.
So what do you know about people living out of the blood of others?
I've seen Stoker's Dracula a few times.
Well, so you know that vampires are not evil. They have desires, like every other humans. They have feelings as well.
I am going to go out here on a limb and say that you pulled a metal or a wooden stake out of my heart. You have me locked in here against my will. God knows where. I think evil is a bit of a subjective term.
We're not the two guys that jumped you. As you can notice, I'm not a guy.
Are you working with them, for them?
Honey, if I had to work, I wouldn't be able to wear that couture.
I. Do you need money? Do you want money? Can that get me out of here? I have a great deal of it.
Oh, yeah? What's your last name again? And what do you do for a living?
Brooks. My last name is Brooks.
And do you work or did you study, Morgan?
I am a CPA with Baird and Hughes. Stockbrokerage
Good to
firm.
know. So you can work during the nighttime, right?
Uh, Markets aren't trading, at least not local at that time.
Well,
Look,
remember well my name because you owe me
just
your life. I'm gonna come back in a few minutes, or somebody else will, and he will decide if you are worthy of a gift. And I'm exiting out.
and she looks a little bit bewildered, and as you start to walk away, please just let me out of here. How much do you want? Name your price.
You will owe me your life.
Okay. Um, what exactly is that worth? Monetary value?
How much do you value your life? And you will owe me a major, major favor that could even endanger your life at some point. I'm saving yours. You're going to save mine at some point. You owe me.
Fine. Sure, that is fine, fine, fine.
Well,
Just
I'm
get
going to
me out of here,
speak
please.
to my supervisors and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to give a good word in your favor. So
All right.
just stay calm. I'm going to make sure that you are comfortable as well. I'm just going to be a moment out.
And she'll
So I'm going to
nod, or
exit and
she.
go check to the other ventral.
All right. So you're going to head out and talk to Sylvia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sylvia, I think I'm done with your PR.
Fairly nervous, that one.
Well, she's an innocent bystander. She was almost raped or attacked by two guys when she was drunk. And she's an innocent victim. I believe she could be salvageable. She works in accounting. Should your client want to welcome her arms open, let it be known that she owes me her life. She said it herself and it's recorded on camera.
Let's see. What is your current humanity? 5?
5.
Yeah, you're fine. um, Sylvia nods, though her arms are crossed, and she does sort of look at you. One might consider that taking advantage of her situation.
Well, my situation is myself. I have saved this person's life by not killing her in the cemetery. Second, I could have probably accidentally killed him or her. I'm not quite sure what sexuality this person is, but I could have destroyed them accidentally in the Tremel lab earlier this week. And today I could have tortured this poor soul, but I realized that maybe she was salvageable.
Real quick, um, Rex is out there in the lobby too, right?
Yeah, well,
Yep,
hallway, but yeah.
And he just heard all that.
yep.
All right.
Well, interesting to see how you operate. I'll
I'm a
see that
Vanderbilt.
if we decide that she is salvageable, we'll make sure that the Harpy is made aware of her pledge to you.
When somebody owes you, they are important. They're valuable until they pay their debt. I like your clan as well. You're, by the way, invited anytime to pass by the hotel. I like your style.
Perhaps someday.
But I would keep her.
All right, then. And she'll look at Rex. If you two would follow me, the main course is now being served in the dining room. And she'll walk towards the end of the hallway. She'll run her card over the scanner, and then she will enter in a code. And the door unlocks with the buzz, and she allows the two of you to enter in.
Rex enters.
I follow. I'm looking at Rex and blinks. I'm giving him a nice blink.
Rex isn't making eye contact quite yet.
Oh, you can notice from the corner of your eye that I'm blinking at you.
Hmm.
Two of you see before you, well, that. The Zamisi with a stake through its heart, sitting there, eyes open. And it is serene but unsettling to look at.
Rex can't help.
Okay.
Rex can't help but think in his own mind.
What was that, Robert?
That's the main course.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Rex thinks in his own mind. Round 2, motherfucker.
Ding!
Yeah.
Sylvia
this
will.
one be good.
Sylvia will walk over. This room is a little bit bigger, a little bit more sterile. The chair that this person is tied to, or this Misi is tied to, is it's reinforced. The bindings are built into the chair. Looks like this is a purpose-built room. And on one of the counters, there is just a rapier. I think that's what they're called. It's just the straight blade with the handguard that covers the entire fist.
Specifically, what makes it a rapier is that it is a thin, light blade built to riposte.
Okay, then yes, that would be it. She takes the blade up and she simply holds it across the crooks of her elbows, and she sits back against the back wall. Seems like she is there, ready to move in case she needs to. Well, Rex, Miss Vanderbilt, it's your show.
Well, I feel the urge to share some information, Rex. My apologies. I had forgotten to mention that I'm of Clan Tremere. And earlier this week I had the pleasure to investigate about the Tsnitsi.
I see. Though I must say, given Mitchell's tenacity the last time we met, I have my doubts that keeping your clan hidden was an accident. But we'll call it even.
Well, you know we have a reputation.
He nods.
Well, this one holds the potency of blood of an elder.
Sorry, you got really scratchy and roboty.
So this one is very powerful. He has the blood of an elder in his veins. And he only drinks the blood of kindreds. And he has at least committed crimes against his own kind 3 times. That doesn't start good for him, but he might have lots of information, but that one might need a little bit more persuasion.
And he's outside of earshot of them talking, right, Vinny?
He's in the room with you guys. He is staked though, but you know for a fact that he is very aware of his surroundings. It's just unable to do anything about it.
So Rex will nod. Elder, Diablerist.
One time, that could be an accident, but 3 times and more. And he only drinks the blood of kindreds. What do we do with him, Rex?
I'm thinking.
Well, I hate to say this, but at least for the crime he has committed in the past, for our own security, we should make sure that he cannot die. As I am passing the flyers to Rex. This is only a suggestion. You have the last call. I don't want to get blood on my hands.
And he'll take them and nod. And he will approach. With him still staked, he'll take the opportunity to rip out his fangs.
I'm gonna turn away as he does that.
Boy, if a blank, paralyzed expression could convey anger, this dude be pissed.
After the first fang, when he sees that expression, he says,
Oh, well, he can't actually express himself. I'm just saying.
"Oh, okay, yeah."
You can deduce that, man, if he could be angry right now or express being angry right now, he'd be so angry.
Yeah, after the first
internal agony.
after the first tooth, he'll say,
Ain't nothing personal. I just gotta take the straw away from your sippy cup, boo-boo. Oh, wait. Maybe it's a little bit personal.
and he rips out the next one. After the last two, he just kind of looks at his bloody mouth and says,
You hiding any other tricks in here?
He was imprisoned in the 1950s. That's the last info my PI gave me.
All right, then. Let's see if old Gummy Jaws can talk.
Well, I told you I knew stuff.
I'm sorry, was that?
I told you I knew stuff.
And he'll move to take the stake out. He is bound, right?
Yeah, he's clamped down. He's got over his ankles, shins, thighs, midsection, shoulders, upper arm, wrists, and even his neck.
Good
and
morning.
he immediately looks up at Rex.
Rex doesn't meet his eye.
Good morning, Boo Boo.
Smart fellow.
You feeling chatty?
Well, I would say that I'm somewhat disinclined to speak to you after you ripped out my fangs, but I feel like that wouldn't matter in either case, so why don't we talk?
Cool. Glad you on board.
Sabrina will turn and look at the not in the eyes, always avoiding his gaze. But we meet again, she perfume. What's your name?
He'll look at her, narrow his eyes, and then he'll look back up to Rex. Could you please tell the thieving amalgamation of what passes for a kindred within your society that I will not be speaking to her?
You got a problem talking to ladies now your confidence gone with your teeth?
I have a problem talking to Tremere.
And he nods.
I'll
Would you,
just take a little bit.
would I need to make a roll to because I'm a little sketchy on how far lore reaches. Would Rex just know offhandedly that like of what the Tremere did back in the Dark Ages?
Probably not, but you'd probably know that as far as enemies of the Tremere go within the Sabbat, number one would be the
Zamisi.
yeah.
Rex nods.
So, I got questions, but I know you already got shit up in there.
And he like does the tap on his temple.
You want to make this easy and just start gabbing?
It's pretty clear how things are going to go. You're going to ask me for information about the Sword of Cain, our movements within the city, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on, and until I give you everything you think you want to know, I will have to suffer at your hand.
You ain't gotta suffer.
Well, that's the thing. If I tell you something, and those that are above me within the Sabbat find out, what do you think would happen to me?
I got an idea, but I don't exactly care.
I suppose you wouldn't, given our history.
Tell you what, you give us all this information, everything we think we want, and I'll talk to the friends that put that nice little piece in you and see if we can keep you around a little longer. Maybe not toss you back to your old friends.
Why? Toss me to perhaps the usurpers there, so they can experiment on me, learn the secrets of my blood? You have absolutely nothing to offer me. If I give you what you want, I will be dead. If I don't give you what you want, I will be dead. You can torture me, of course, and Perhaps you get something out of it, perhaps you don't. I am very well acquainted with pain. It's part of understanding what I am and how to continue to develop. My good friend.
You got a point. Well, maybe, just maybe, you tell us what you know, and you ain't gotta die.
Well,
Now, consider that.
tell you what I know. All right, then. I know that your society is based on the idea that the very things that we look to fight, the antediluvians, they don't exist as far as you all are concerned. I know that you will keep your head in the sand until those monsters rise up from wherever they are hidden. And I know you will let the world burn when that happens. I know that you are losing the war, even with your new allies. And I know that you, as a collective, are afraid of what we bring to the table.
Rex will turn to look at Sabrina.
You scared?
Should I get the chainsaw?
Nah. He thinks we scared.
I don't think so.
I ain't scared. This might take a little longer or a little quicker, this little scuffle we's getting into.
Sales pitch. How about we propose him to stay in a large cell until our leaders decide that he's worthy of our trust? It's not death either way. It's a chance to prove yourself and change your mind. And should he ever be right about those monsters that he believes in, well, he'll still be alive to laugh at us and die with us.
Now that sounds like an idea.
It's like the humans, they are doing jail time for life. Well, now it's on life sentence.
Tell me something. You got a name there, Horns?
Does my name really matter?
Humor me.
Oh, let's go with something from the old world then. How does Alexi sound?
Alexi.
That sounds very transgender.
Well,
Rex just kind of waves his hand dismissively. He says,
What do you exist for, Alexi? Because we all still around for something.
well, I have to say that I'm quite intrigued of whether or not the Blues Brothers will be getting back together or not, doing perhaps one more tour.
I ain't know if you heard, but half of them is dead.
This is true, but the other half are still alive, and they did do a film not that long ago. Relatively. I think I would pay good money to see the Dan Aykroyd again.
Level with me, Alexi. It's your future we talking about. Might not be with the sword. There's a chance for you to make it out of this alive.
You are either dumb or naive. I'm not exactly sure which. Perhaps a mixture of both. Let me let you in on a little secret. There is not a single thing known as a Zamisi anti-tribute. We do not bow to the ivory tower. We never have.
My dad said the same. And we all know there is betrayers among your ranks.
Would you please inform the usurper that she is very misinformed?
Rex looks over at her.
You know what? If you want to die, just say it. It's going to be easier on my conscience.
Rather abrupt. Do you have a inkling of what compartmentalization is, sir?
Can I what do I roll to to say yes even though I don't?
You don't have to roll anything. You can just say yes if he doesn't know what that means.
No, to pretend like he does know. Or
does or does not know.
He doesn't know, but he's gonna lie and say he does know.
Just manipulation subterfuge.
What subterfuge?
Manipulation subterfuge.
Two successes.
I'll say it's enough.
Yes.
Wait a minute, I want to redact that for just the way that Rex said yes.
Oh, no, it's too late. You already said it.
God damn it, Robbie. Then you understand that what I know is not the big picture. I'll tell you what, good sir, I will very happily give up what information I have. I'll probably be dead or burned or whatever, vivisected maybe. Love that word, vivisected. So rare to get to use it in a sentence. I'll tell you everything you wish to know. If you will perhaps give her a good wallop right to the face. No love tap either.
Rex doesn't hesitate and he says deal. Actually, no. He'll hesitate for posterity's sake. He'll take just a second and then he'll nod.
And how does Sabrina feel about this?
Well, you don't have the authority, Rex. But what I propose you swear to is to put a good word.
I got the authority to punch you.
Well, as long as you don't kill him. For the moment. Only my uncle has the right to decide who's dying and who's not.
Nah, he just wants me to punch you with my fist. I ain't trying to kill you. Just, you know.
And why would you do that, Rex?
He gonna give me the information for it. That's what he wants. I mean,
Negotiate with terrorists.
it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I mean, it's just one punch.
Well, you owe me one.
I don't know about that. This for information for the whole city. I think we're working together on this one.
Why don't you
I
inform
owe
her
you
to
one
be,
good one in the face, then.
All right. I'll take that.
So, you can go gentle, please. And I'm spending 2 blood points in stamina.
Rex just says, you know,
I ain't using no blood powers or nothing. I expect the same.
Well, that you don't know if I'm spending blood or not.
no, he's just talking about disciplines.
Yeah, I think he's not going to hit you with like protein claws.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna walk over to Sabrina, put up the dukes, and yeah, give her a good old thwack.
I'll take one for the team this time.
Mm-hmm. Do you need me
Together, everybody achieves more.
do you want me to roll it since she's agreeing to it, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was about to say because I'm not. All right, fuck it.
It's bashing damage. It's not gonna
Yeah.
do anything permanent to her, and bashing damage is halved anyway. It's just for his own satisfaction.
Blood. 2 blood.
Oh, yeah.
For soaking. I know you, bitch.
Sorry.
You hurt like a truck.
So 4 successes, your strength +3.
Plus good right hook.
Plus good right hook and heavy hands.
So that is going to be E10 at diff 5. That's 5 bashing, but I'm pretty sure it gets halved.
Yep, so it'll be 3 bashing. So you take 1 point of damage, Sabrina. It hurts a little bit, but nothing that's not going to be righted. You'll heal up pretty quickly. But it hurts. You know?
Yeah. Sabrina will just look straight into Rex's eye and tell him, "Thank you for hitting like a girl."
Rex nods and he's like,
I understand.
Well, you kind of felt that she was very resilient.
he's going to look back at the Zamisi.
Deal.
Very well then. With the exception of 1, 2 really, I guess, technically. All of those embraces I was overseeing as a favor to a pack known as the 3 Ring Circus.
Name sounds familiar.
Bunch of very eclectic and eccentric Canaanites who are all batshit insane.
Even by your standards.
Well, we do have some standards after all.
Names, locations.
Well, if I knew where they lived, I wouldn't give it to you, but unfortunately, if you were to torture it out of me, I wouldn't be able to give it to you. That's one little bit of the compartmentalization I was talking about. Good sir.
I'll wit subterfuge him to specifically.
Everybody has a breaking point.
specifically to see if he's lying about, or yeah, specifically aimed at him knowing.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. 2 successes.
He's being honest with you.
He nods.
Chainsaw?
Nah, he
Blue
telling
torch?
he telling it like it is.
Sorry to disappoint the abomination of the blood standing next to you, but yes, very truthful about that. So,
I say we take him back.
I will give you this little bit of information, though, my boy. As far as packs go, they're extremely disorganized. They're not stable. They have the attention span of a gnat. And while they are impressive in their combat capability, it's sort of like putting a tornado down when you're trying to take out one house.
They say the same thing about Al Qaeda cells.
Yeah, there's some ground level shit. Come on, Alexei. I need something I can work with.
That is something you can work with, you buffoon. That is tactical information. If I were going to take them down, I would do everything in my power to get them riled up to the point where they're boiling at a fever pitch.
Oh, by the way, Rex, you remember the Jedi mind trick that he pulled on you in the cemetery?
And his temples, flutter a bit when he clenches his jaws in his mouth, back and forth some. Remembering.
I think you owe him at least a good one.
And he nods.
Actually, there is a bit of information I could give you that you might find useful.
I'm listening.
And this one I'll give you for free. A high-ranking member of the war party that has descended upon your city is looking to draw someone out for the sheer pleasure of it in the Sapphire King's Contest of Champions.
I need a name.
He goes by the name of Tyler. He's part of the ruling command pack.
Is that right?
Indeed it is. I don't much care for him. He makes a mockery of what we stand for obscene pleasure.
It's all you feel like sharing today?
Well, I have one more piece of information that would be very useful to you, but I want some assurances.
And he, Rex does a gesture of his hand that kind of says, go on, with the most bored looking of expressions.
Ensure that the Tremere will never lay another hand on me, will have no dealings with me. Ensure that they will never have a drop of my blood. As far as I am concerned, if I give you this information, I want assurances
Motherfucker, I can't even do that.
Take it up with her. And he'll nod backwards because it's about all he can do.
This would be a decision for my uncle.
Indeed, it would.
After all, he's the one that decides if you die or stay alive. As long as he's pleased by what he hears, he might keep you alive. And this Tremere over here, that filthy bloodsucker, is part of his private council.
That good enough for you?
So I think you have advantage of dealing with me.
You give up the info, we get the gears turning. How's that?
And
I want to hear it from your blonde friend.
Miss Sylvia,
And she's got the blade hanging off her hip at this point, and she's smoking.
I believe you can tell him that only the prince will decide if he lives or not. And you can confirm my identity.
In the short term, I'll sure make assurances that he is not molested or touched by anyone on the behalf of the Tremere or the Tremere themselves, while the prince makes his decision.
There you go.
Very well.
This is my first and only olive branch I'm going to give you. Diablerist.
Could you tell the abomination that it's ironic that she would call me a Diablerist?
Come on, man. I could whip out my dick too. We can see how big it is. Shit's gonna keep happening. We gonna be rolling in circles all day long.
Very well. There is a traitor among your number. A mole, a plant.
You got ID?
Oh, yes, I do. Small, blonde, psychotic. Ring any bells, Mr. X?
The NPCs list on the forum, that's public knowledge, yeah?
Yes. Let me just double check to make sure that she is added in there because she may not have been.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nothing's been added to the Malkavian boards, but I would say that Rex is pretty intimately.
No, oh man, it's her, isn't it? What was it? Feather?
Hair.
Hair, that's it, hair. So he'll just nod.
I like the dynamic that we're developing.
What's her name? I want to hear. Or Alexei did designate a gender to this small blonde psychotic,
Yes.
right? Okay. What's her name?
Oh, what does she call herself? Kino sometimes. Hair other times.
That's what I thought. I
I believe she was involved in an incursion where they tried to make her look a bit more sympathetic the last time we encountered you at one of the Sedite temples.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice big nugget of information for you. Are you satisfied?
Never.
Well, at least we know that you have ambition, Rex.
Is this all for today?
I'm afraid that's all I can really give you. As in, that is all I have to give you.
Rex is gonna punch him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for it. Difficulty 4.
Huh. Look at that. All right, so that's just going to be straight strength +2 plus an additional, I believe, 2 for aiming for the head.
Mm-hmm.
+4, so 70, 10, 2, 5, F1. I'm sure he can soak it, but
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened. Hey, it takes one.
well, there you go. Rex nods and says,
Now we even.
You tore out my fangs. I don't call that even. At least in a very logistical sense, but whatever. Are we quite done? Can
For
I go
now.
back into my box?
For now.
and he'll head over to the spike and will offer it to Sabrina.
Sweet. Well, do you know that mole, Rex?
Yeah. We go back.
What's her name again?
Hair.
And what clan is she posing as?
Posing.
She one of the crazies.
Okay. I haven't had the pleasure to meet any of them. So what should we do with that guy that doesn't have a name yet? We have to nickname him.
Oh, he said he liked Alexei.
Oh.
And he wants to go back in the box.
Well, I'm not strong enough to stake him. Please do the honors.
Alright.
And he just kind of nods, surprisingly sympathetically. Yeah, it's a little hard to see. I'll let you P&E it if you want, but he yeah. Probably at like diff 5 because he's trying to convey it. If you want to P&E him.
Sabrina, would you like to do a perception empathy on Rex?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I haven't rolled yet. So let's just take a look at my sheet. I got 3 successes at difficulty 6.
I was saying since he was trying to convey it, probably at diff 5. I'd be cool with diff 5, but
Yeah, 4 successes.
all right. With 4 successes, the message is conveyed His expression at the gesture was he was trying to give Sabrina a chance to give kind of a whack at him with the stake, and he's a little disappointed, not necessarily in her, but that she didn't really get that chance. And he I want to say regretfully accepts the stake and heads off to do the business.
All right, yeah, you stake him, and he indeed goes rigid again.
He asked for it.
Yeah. This shit about hair. We gotta keep this. We gotta keep this low to the ground.
Why? You want to track her?
Gotta
Now we
get
know.
gotta get into a trap. More of us that know about it, the harder it's gonna be. You put that out there.
Actually, my uncle will hear about it.
Respect. When you tell them
But
about
also
it,
that pack that wants to put a Tyler at the ring. That's useful as well.
And he nods.
Because that bitch there was monitoring the shovel heads as a favor to them. That's the link.
when you talk to your uncle about it, you ain't gotta listen to a word I gotta say. But I ask if he can keep it low to the ground.
Well, I could also propose him that this should be our operation.
However you want to do it. Respect.
Sylvia clears her throat. Are you letting your emotions cloud your judgment, Rex?
Oh, is she asking him that?
Yeah.
Fuck no. I'm trying to spring a good ass trap. You can't do it if the rabbits heard all about it.
And if we're all on the same side here, why hide it? Why not put a bounty out on her overtly?
Well, not for the moment. She might be useful and lead us to more people.
Or she gonna hear about that bounty. Everybody got friends.
Or we could slip her false information, sabotaging the Sabbat at the same time.
That ain't my coterie. But if that's what y'all want to do, respect.
Well, I'm just saying we have many options. How to use that information.
And he nods. He doesn't really add to that.
For now, Rex, do you know any members among the espionage coterie?
I mean, like in character he does, but like I'm pretty rough on the roster for coteries right now. I think
It's Eleanor and Alex are Paul's character.
Okay, but yeah, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. In character, no, nope, never met either of them.
But I can find out.
Share it with them and only them. I'll take the information to the prince, and he can pass it down along through his niece. What the final judgment is to do.
Oh, I couldn't care less about its meaty. What I'm interested in is how to break him to speak. If he reveals to be a long-term asset, fine. If my uncle can suck the juice out of him, all good. I'm just here to represent.
Well, as far as the Zamisi is concerned, he's under my custody for now, my protection. I'll talk with the sheriff about what he wants done, and he will, I'm sure, be getting back to the prince at some point. In any event, no matter how many people do the reporting, Vex, this is something I think you should be spearheading on as far as trying to get this information discreetly over to the espionage coterie.
And how did it go with your experiment, Rex?
He sang pretty easy. Talked about some motherfucker named Keith. Real Sugar Ray looking son bitch. Blonde, spiky hair. Something about a old ass Spanish lady.
Wow. Mine was either a guy or a girl, I'm not sure yet. But offered me a fortune and favors in exchange of their life. So when it was offered, I couldn't refuse. And I said, should your clan accept you and my uncle allows you to live, you owe me your life boon. It was offered.
Respect.
Who am I to refuse an offer? Fair and square.
Pretty sure they gonna kill mine. I ain't never seen Bruja as bitchy as that.
Well, maybe you can train him and take him as a Padawan.
Yeah.
Well, it will need to be guided in a good way. But anyways, what did you think of the evening, Miss Sylvia?
I'm sorry, I caught some of that. What was she asking?
I'm sorry. I was just asking her out, what did you think of the evening?
Sylvia sort of twists and turns the cigarette between her thumb and forefinger until the cherry pops out, and she'll snuff it out with her with the tip of her shoe. I'm glad to see that none of you went into any amateur sort of theatricality as far as enhanced interrogation goes. I fully expected for people to be losing fingers, to be burnt, to any number of things, but you all handled yourself pretty well. I'd say as far as an assessment goes, you were very competent this evening.
Let me know if you get any more. This was fun.
A nice challenge and a pleasure to assist the Camarilla.
As it should be. If the two of you would see yourselves out, I need to clean up down here.
Of course, would it be also possible to bring at least a little camp bed, sleeping bag, and pillow to the poor Ventrue? She's been a victim of an assault, so at least we owe her a bit of comfort.
I'll see to it that my own is taken care of in the appropriate way.
Thank you, that's very human of you.
And Sylvia simply nods and opens up the door so the two can actually get out of the room.
Sweet. Not so bad for Jamira, Rex.
We'll see. He kind of nods a bit reluctantly.
I think we can shut it. Well, on my side, I'm done.
Rex will just say, I ain't gonna hold it against you, given what we are, what we do. But
Well, I didn't choose my clan. Whatever arrangement between Clan Tremere and my uncle was made, I'm not aware of the terms.
I'm a big fan of the truth.
Well, I'm a big believer in opportunities, and I do with what I was given.
Respect.
He nods.
I respect you too. Thanks for the smack.
Always.
I still owe you a punch.
And he crosses his arm. Well, no, he won't cross his arms. He'll turn to her, and then hold his arms out to either side.
So thank you guys. Sabrina will leave. And she will gift the chainsaw, blowtorch, and everything. She will leave them there. A gift for the sheriff's office. My pliers were useful to remove fangs.
Rex looks surprised she didn't take the shot.
No, I'm respecting my nature. Hey, I would have gotten probably 2 or 3 willpowers back.
Well then, as the two exit and go about their merry way, I think this is as good a place as any to call this a scene. So, thank you players for playing, and thank you watchers for watching.